Life often places before us obstacles that test not only our patience but also our inner strength. Among the most difficult challenges we face is the experience of financial struggle. When money feels blocked, opportunities seem out of reach, and doors that once opened with ease now remain firmly shut. This is not merely about the absence of money itself, but about the invisible barriers that prevent abundance from flowing into our lives. It is in these moments that one begins to realize that wealth is not just the movement of currency, but the alignment of energy, intention, and spirit. When money becomes blocked, many look only to external solutions, working harder, chasing opportunities, or forcing outcomes. But the deeper truth lies in an unseen balance. Just as water will not flow through a blocked channel, financial blessings cannot move freely if the channel of the soul is obstructed by fear, doubt, resentment, or a lack of faith. These inner blockages manifest outwardly, creating the illusion of scarcity. Yet within the silence of prayer, the blocked channel begins to clear. Prayer is not begging, nor is it empty words. It is the conscious alignment of the heart with the higher order of the universe. The power of prayer rests not in how loud it is spoken, but in the sincerity of the spirit behind it. Each prayer carries vibration, and vibration shapes reality. When one prays with a restless mind, words scatter without impact. But when one prays with clarity, focus, and surrender, the energy shifts, and doors begin to open where walls once stood. In the realm of money and abundance, this is especially important. Financial blockages are not merely material problems, they are spiritual knots. The act of prayer loosens these knots, allowing prosperity to return to its natural flow. There are prayers that carry within them the ability to realign your relationship with wealth, to remove unseen obstacles, and to call forth opportunities that were once hidden. These are not magical words, but living forces that awaken both faith and discipline. They remind us that money, like all forms of energy, responds to clarity, gratitude, and alignment. As you listen, you must approach these prayers not with desperation but with trust. Do not see them as tools to demand wealth, but as pathways to unlock what is already destined for you. When spoken with devotion, they awaken a shift within your heart, and when the heart changes, the external world cannot remain the same. To unlock blocked money is not only to receive financial blessings, but to step into a new relationship with abundance itself. These prayers open the door, but it is your faith, your consistency, and your willingness to align with divine order that allow you to walk through it. Each word you speak will carry intention, and each intention will carry power. When this power is guided correctly, blocked money does not remain blocked. It begins to flow again, like a river released from its dam. The prayer of release begins with an act of surrender. It is the conscious choice to loosen the grip on fear, anger, doubt, and resentment that often cling tightly within the heart. These emotions create invisible walls, and those walls block the natural flow of blessings. When a person holds on to past disappointments or carries bitterness from unmet expectations, it becomes like a weight pressing down on the spirit. The truth is, money does not flow easily to a heart that is heavy with negativity. To release is to free both the mind and the soul, to open a channel where abundance can move again without resistance. Every thought carries energy, and energy manifests into reality. When the inner dialogue is filled with scarcity, phrases like, "I never have enough," or "nothing ever works for me," those words take root and grow into patterns that lock the gates of provision. Release means speaking differently, thinking differently, choosing to cut the cords that tie the present to old wounds. In prayer, this act of release becomes powerful because it acknowledges that what once held you no longer has permission to stay. You speak life into your spirit and declare that fear is no longer your master. Releasing also requires forgiveness. Many financial blockages come not from lack of skill or opportunity, but from unresolved bitterness toward others, toward situations, or even toward oneself. To hold unforgiveness is to bind your own hands, and in doing so you stop yourself from receiving what is already meant for you. Through prayer, the words of forgiveness carry weight beyond what the human mind can measure. You let go of debts that cannot be repaid, you release the anger toward people who wronged you, and you release the harsh judgments you placed on yourself. This act softens the heart, and a softened heart becomes magnetic to blessings. To release is also to let go of control. Many times people attempt to force outcomes, to dictate when and how prosperity must arrive. This controlling spirit creates tension, and tension closes doors rather than opening them. The prayer of release is not about demanding but trusting. It acknowledges that abundance is guided by divine timing, and that timing will always prove wiser than our own plans. By letting go, you create space for the unexpected, space for opportunities that were previously unseen because your vision was clouded by worry. When you release, the prayer becomes lighter, the words more genuine, and the faith more alive. The mind quiets, the body rests, and the spirit aligns with higher order. You are no longer weighed down by what was or by what you cannot control. Instead, you stand in openness, prepared to receive without resistance. The prayer of release is like opening the windows of a locked room, allowing fresh air to circulate where once there was only stagnation. It is this fresh breath, this freedom of spirit, that allows blocked money to find its way back into your life. The prayer of gratitude begins with the recognition that abundance already exists in your life, even in the smallest of ways. It is not merely about thanking for what is visible or tangible, but acknowledging the unseen blessings that surround you each day. When the heart is filled with gratitude, it creates a vibration that resonates with prosperity. Scarcity diminishes in the presence of appreciation because gratitude shifts focus from what is lacking to what is present. This shift in perception is critical, for the universe responds to the energy you emit, and a heart overflowing with thankfulness opens the channels for money and opportunities to flow freely. Gratitude requires awareness. It is easy to overlook the ordinary moments, the daily interactions, or the simple provisions that sustain life. Yet, when you consciously recognize and give thanks for these, you begin to reprogram the mind to see abundance rather than limitation. Every small blessing, from the air you breathe to the people who support you, becomes a seed that grows into greater prosperity. The act of speaking gratitude in prayer amplifies its effect, creating a feedback loop where the more you acknowledge, the more becomes available to receive. In this prayer, it is important to address not only material gains, but also the lessons hidden in challenges. Every difficulty carries a hidden blessing, and when you express gratitude for growth, resilience, and understanding, you signal to the universe that your perspective is aligned with higher wisdom. Gratitude transforms the mind from a place of complaint and resistance into a state of receptivity. When you approach money from a place of thankfulness, you are no longer chasing it desperately. Instead, you are inviting it into your life with open hands, and the universe responds to the purity of that invitation. The prayer of gratitude also strengthens faith. When you thank for what is yet to come, you are declaring trust in unseen forces. It is an acknowledgement that you are not alone in your pursuit of abundance, and that higher guidance is orchestrating the flow of prosperity in your life. By verbalizing gratitude for opportunities, income, or financial breakthroughs that are on their way, you reinforce belief in their arrival. The mind and heart unite in expectation, creating a magnetic force that attracts resources, partnerships, and solutions previously hidden from view. Gratitude shifts the energy of the soul. Resentment, envy, and comparison lose their power when genuine appreciation fills the heart. The focus moves away from scarcity toward sufficiency, from limitation toward possibility. Every prayer of gratitude becomes a bridge connecting the current reality with a future of abundance. As the heart remains fixed on thankfulness, it begins to notice openings where money can flow, doors that were unnoticed begin to reveal themselves, and channels once blocked by doubt or negativity start to clear. The practice of gratitude is a continuous cycle, for the more you recognize and express it, the more the universe mirrors that energy back to you in tangible forms of wealth, opportunity, and favor. The prayer of clarity begins with a deep desire to see the path ahead with precision and wisdom. Often, blocked money is not a result of lack of effort but of confusion, indecision, and blurred judgment. Opportunities exist, but they remain unseen or misunderstood because the mind is clouded with doubt, worry, and distraction. In this prayer, you ask for the removal of mental fog, for the ability to discern between what serves your highest good and what leads to stagnation. Clarity brings focus, and focus allows energy to be directed efficiently, creating momentum where before there was only hesitation and uncertainty. When the heart and mind are aligned through clarity, the soul becomes receptive to guidance from higher sources. Many financial blockages occur because decisions are made impulsively, emotionally, or under pressure, rather than from a place of thoughtful insight. By invoking clarity in prayer, you are asking for the wisdom to recognize the opportunities that are genuine and to distinguish them from distractions or illusions. This prayer opens the inner eyes to hidden possibilities and unseen paths, revealing doors that were previously invisible and guiding the steps toward prosperity with confidence. Clarity also requires the removal of internal contradictions and indecision. Often, a person may desire abundance while simultaneously doubting their own worthiness or questioning whether they deserve to receive. These internal conflicts create a tension that obstructs the flow of financial blessings. In prayer, asking for clarity dissolves these conflicts, harmonizing desire and belief, action and intention. When the mind is clear, decisions are made with purpose rather than hesitation, and each step taken moves closer to the fulfillment of financial goals. The prayer of clarity does not only illuminate external opportunities, but also shines light on personal patterns, habits, and behaviors that may hinder progress. It allows one to recognize where resources are being mismanaged, where energy is being wasted, and where old fears continue to dictate action. By bringing these areas into conscious awareness, you can correct course, align actions with intention, and remove the invisible blocks that prevent money from flowing freely. This awareness becomes a powerful tool because understanding the root of obstacles is the first step toward dissolving them. Clarity also strengthens intuition. When you pray for it, you develop the ability to sense the right choices, to trust instinct alongside reason, and to move confidently in the direction that aligns with your purpose. This intuition acts as an internal compass, guiding you toward financial opportunities that may not yet be visible in the material world. It helps you avoid pitfalls and distractions, ensuring that energy is directed where it will yield the greatest results. Through this prayer, the mind becomes still enough to hear guidance, the heart becomes open enough to follow it, and the spirit becomes strong enough to act without fear. Each request for clarity is a call to align with the natural order of abundance, to remove confusion and hesitation, and to step into a reality where money and opportunity flow unobstructed. The act of seeking clarity in prayer is not passive, it is an active, intentional alignment with insight, discernment and divine direction that transforms uncertainty into understanding and opens the way for financial blessings to manifest. The prayer of protection begins with the acknowledgement that unseen forces can influence the flow of money in ways that are not always visible to the human eye. Financial blockages often stem not from lack of effort or skill, but from negative energies, envy or ill intentions directed by others, as well as from the subtle influence of doubt, fear, or self-sabotage within oneself. Protection in prayer is the conscious act of creating a shield around your finances, your opportunities, and your energy, ensuring that nothing harmful can infiltrate the channels that lead to prosperity. It is a declaration that the wealth destined for you is safeguarded from interference, and that no external negativity can hinder the blessings meant for your life. This prayer requires focused intention because the act of protection is not passive. It calls for a clear understanding of the ways in which energies interact with the material and spiritual planes. Just as a fortress protects valuable treasures from thieves, prayer builds a spiritual boundary around your resources. It creates an invisible barrier against discouragement, envy, manipulation, and the negative thoughts of others that can weaken your resolve and create delays in the manifestation of financial abundance. By invoking protection, you declare that only supportive, constructive energies are permitted to influence your path. Protection also involves guarding the mind. Financial blockages frequently arise from anxiety, fear, and comparison, which act like corrosive agents, eroding confidence and clarity. Through prayer, you ask for the safeguarding of your thoughts, maintaining focus on possibilities rather than limitations. This mental protection ensures that you are not swayed by doubt, criticism, or external pressures that could lead to decisions that obstruct prosperity. By cultivating a shielded mind, you create an inner environment where abundance can be conceived, nurtured, and allowed to grow without interruption. Furthermore, prayer of protection aligns with spiritual integrity. It is not about creating separation from others or fostering fear, but about establishing boundaries that honor the flow of divine order. Just as light dispels darkness, protective prayer draws a perimeter around your finances and intentions, illuminating areas that could be vulnerable and reinforcing them with spiritual energy. This conscious act sends a clear message to the universe that your path to prosperity is sacred and must remain free from corruption, sabotage, or negative influence. The act of protection also works on multiple levels: material, emotional, and spiritual. Financial obstacles are rarely isolated. They often coincide with emotional stress, relational conflict, or spiritual doubt. By praying for protection, you shield not just the money itself, but also the channels through which it flows. Opportunities are safeguarded, decisions remain unclouded, and relationships tied to wealth and success are kept aligned with positivity and support. This comprehensive protection ensures that all elements contributing to financial well-being are harmonized and fortified against disruption. Through this prayer, you assert authority over your financial destiny. You claim the right to receive what is intended for you, to walk a path free from interference, and to maintain stability in the face of uncertainty. Protection in prayer is both an act of faith and a practical spiritual measure, establishing a stronghold around your life and resources. It allows you to operate from a place of confidence, knowing that every step you take toward abundance is supported and guarded. The prayer of divine alignment begins with the recognition that true prosperity is not achieved merely through effort, skill, or human strategy, but through harmony with a higher order. Financial abundance flows most powerfully when your actions, intentions, and desires are aligned with universal principles and divine guidance. This prayer is an invitation to attune your life to the natural rhythms of creation, to ensure that every decision, every effort, and every step taken is in accordance with the greater plan designed for your highest good. It is the conscious act of bringing your personal will into harmony with a higher will, allowing energy to flow effortlessly toward the fulfillment of your financial destiny. When money becomes blocked, it is often because personal efforts are misaligned with the currents of divine order. Striving against the natural flow creates resistance, and resistance manifests as obstacles, delays, and repeated setbacks. Through the prayer of divine alignment, you seek clarity on how to position yourself in ways that honor both your own purpose and the principles of abundance that govern the universe. This alignment is not about forcing outcomes, but about creating resonance between your intentions and the larger forces at work. As alignment deepens, the universe responds, guiding circumstances, people, and opportunities toward you in a way that feels effortless and synchronized. This prayer requires introspection and self-honesty. It asks you to evaluate whether your desires and actions are motivated by fear, greed, or pride, or whether they are rooted in service, integrity, and purpose. Misaligned intentions generate blocks because they invite imbalance and disharmony. When you consciously align with higher principles, your desires transform from mere wishes into purposeful calls that attract corresponding energy. Money, opportunities, and resources begin to respond to the frequency you emit, and abundance naturally finds its way into your life without struggle or coercion. Divine alignment also emphasizes the importance of timing. Many financial blockages occur because efforts are made too early, too late, or without readiness to receive. Alignment ensures that you move in sync with the unfolding of events, that actions are taken when conditions are right, and that patience is exercised when necessary. This prayer fosters trust in divine timing, cultivating patience and faith that the flow of abundance will arrive when it is most beneficial and impactful. By aligning with this timing, you avoid unnecessary friction and accelerate the manifestation of prosperity. Furthermore, divine alignment strengthens discernment. When your life is attuned to higher order, you are better able to recognize opportunities that serve your long-term growth rather than being distracted by superficial or temporary gains. It opens awareness to partnerships, investments, and pathways that might have been overlooked, revealing the precise channels through which wealth and resources can move most efficiently. Alignment creates clarity in decision-making, ensuring that every financial step contributes to both personal fulfillment and broader purpose. Through this prayer, the heart, mind, and spirit unite in conscious cooperation with divine will. Actions become purposeful, intentions become clear, and the energy around you begins to vibrate in harmony with abundance itself. By seeking divine alignment, you invite not only financial prosperity, but also spiritual wisdom, inner peace, and the ability to walk confidently in a path that is both prosperous and meaningful. It is a call to live in resonance with the forces that shape reality, to ensure that money, opportunity, and success flow unhindered because your life is aligned with the higher order of creation.